In a night filled with high anticipation, Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez once again proved why he remains one of boxing's most dominant forces. Alvarez defeated Cuba's William Scull to claim the super-middleweight world title, cementing his status as the face of the division. The bout, staged in front of a roaring crowd, was a showcase of experience, ring intelligence, and clinical execution from the Mexican champion against the spirited but outgunned challenger. From the opening bell, the contrast between the two fighters was clear. Scull, an undefeated contender who had earned his shot through persistence and a grinding climb up the rankings, came into the ring with height and reach advantages. He attempted to establish control behind a long jab, trying to keep Alvarez at bay and force him into mid-range exchanges. For the first couple of rounds, Scull's movement and jab flicks caused Alvarez to hesitate slightly, as the Cuban tried to dictate the tempo. But as has been the case throughout Canelo's legendary career, adjustments quickly followed. By the third round, Alvarez began to close the distance more effectively, slipping under Scull's jab and landing sharp counters to the body. His signature left hook to the ribs echoed through the arena, and Scull's discomfort was visible. The relentless pressure forced Scull to abandon his rhythm, and the fight's momentum started shifting heavily toward Alvarez. The middle rounds were vintage Canelo. He cut off the ring with precision, stalking Scull and making him pay every time he tried to circle out. A particularly brutal sequence in the fifth round saw Alvarez rip 3 consecutive hooks to the body followed by a snapping uppercut that had Scull retreating. Although the Cuban challenger showed tremendous resilience and heart, his punches lacked the sting to dissuade the Mexican icon from marching forward. By the seventh round, Alvarez was firmly in control. He mixed his attacks beautifully, alternating between punishing body shots and crisp head punches that left Scull covering up more often than firing back. The gap in class and experience became glaring. While Scull had entered the bout with an undefeated record and the ambition of shocking the world, Alvarez's composure, accuracy, and power proved to be on another level. In the ninth round, the fight reached its defining moment. Alvarez unleashed a vicious right hand over the top that staggered Scull, followed by a thunderous left hook that sent the Cuban to the canvas. Scull bravely beat the count, but his legs were unsteady, and Alvarez sensed the finish. Moments later, another barrage of punches forced the referee to step in, waving off the contest and declaring Canelo Alvarez the winner by technical knockout. The victory marked yet another milestone in Alvarez's storied career. Already a multi-division world champion, this triumph reaffirms his dominance at super-middleweight and extends his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of his era. For Alvarez, who has battled and defeated some of the sport's best, from Gennady Golovkin to Sergey Kovalev and Caleb Plant, adding William Scull's name to his win column further solidifies his reputation as the man to beat. For Scull, though the loss ended his unbeaten run, it also introduced him to the global stage. He displayed grit, toughness, and flashes of ability that suggest he remains a credible contender in the division. Facing one of the greatest fighters of this generation is a daunting task for anyone, and while the Cuban fell short, his willingness to stand in against Alvarez will likely earn him future opportunities. In his post-fight interview, Alvarez was reflective but confident. He praised Scull for his toughness but made it clear that his ambition remains unshaken. "I respect him. He came to fight and showed a big heart," Alvarez said. "But I am the best at 168. My goal is always to keep proving it, fight after fight." The boxing world now turns its attention to what lies ahead for Canelo. Questions about potential megafights linger. Could he face David Benavidez in an all-action clash? Will he pursue a rematch with Dmitry Bivol up at light heavyweight, hoping to avenge his previous defeat? Or will he continue to dominate the super-middleweight division, defending his crown against all challengers? Whatever direction he takes, one thing is certain: Canelo Alvarez remains the undisputed star of world boxing. His performance against William Scull not only added another world title belt to his collection, but also reminded fans why his name sits alongside the greatest Mexican fighters in history. On a night when youth and ambition met experience and brilliance, it was the master craftsman who prevailed. Canelo Alvarez's reign continues, his legend grows, and his pursuit of greatness shows no signs of slowing down.